Good evening. We are in a very lovely place right now, and it's dark. Yes, I did not go for the time change on this flight. Um, you know what? We're in Venice. Gosh, and I would like so bad to change the time here, but I've already started the A cars, and they will fuss at me if I do that. So
Ladies and gentlemen,
can't do
we'll be
that.
taking off in just a few minutes. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure.
We're not about to take off, so don't stress. Okay. Right.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Right. I'm checking our volumes on this flight because I want to be sure. I think I've started adjusting the volumes of some of my aircraft because I was getting some feedback that we were a little hot, like talking about the sound effects were. So I was seeing if I could go and do a general config audio and check our volume. Because I have my microphone up about as high as I can go. Let's see here. What we got? Engine noise. Gyro volume. I think we're good. Let me know if you have input along the way. So let's go ahead and check our FMC and set our IRS position. And go to the routes, request our flight plan. All right, let's load. Our departure looks like it's out at 04 right. Something's loud in the background. I hope it's not drowning me out. 04 right, the Rookie 8 X-ray departure. Arriving on an EHAM on 06 ILS, north to Alpha. Somebody just trying to be annoying. No, okay, it's British Airways. I'll leave it to the British. Okay. All right. By the way, our reserve fuel on this flight is 5.7. And our planned fuel, our burn for this flight, is 9.3. Okay. Okay, and our pulling up the information. Scrolling. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. Flaps are 5. we pull the center of gravity over here from payload, and it says our takeoff center of gravity is 19.8. Next page. It's important to do this, by the way. So our flex temp is 51. We're doing cutback for flex. Runway winds are 357 at 2. And now we can go back and bring in our speeds, our V speeds. 138 is V1, 140 is rotate, and 144 is V2. Let's bring up our throttle arm and our flight directors. And we're going to enter our V2 speed right here, 144. And Fabian, can you get our IFR clearance? Hold on. No, he can't. You know why? Because Fabian doesn't exist. I did not start say intentions. Okay, so let me start it. All right, now, First Officer Fabian, are you with us?
Yes, Steve, I am here and ready to assist.
Would you please get our IFR clearance to Amsterdam?
I'll get our IFR clearance to Amsterdam now.
Venice Tower, KLM 1630, we'd like to receive our IFR clearance and we have uniform.
I'll have your clearance in just a second. KLM 1630, Venice Tower, clear to Amsterdam Schiphol via the Rocky 8 X-ray departure runway 04 right. Initial climb to 4,000 feet, departure on 134.75, squawk 1735.
All right. Also, we need to enter our QNH. I've not put QNH in yet. It is a part of my process. 1002.1002, and it synchronizes with the other ones. Okay, anti-skid has been set to RTO. Fabian, you're in charge of all comms on this flight.
I've got the comms, Steve. Let's get ready for taxi.
Please get our pushback and start clearance.
Requesting pushback and start clearance now.
Venice Tower, KLM 1630, requesting pushback and start clearance. We have uniform.
Router cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
KLM
Ground to
1630,
cockpit.
pushback and start
Code is
approved.
driving up.
Face southeast.
Blinding him a little bit, he'll get over it. I've got the runway lights on. I don't turn off lights. I don't have the taxi lights. Taxi lights are really bright. They are.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect. So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Let's go for engine 2.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call.
Looking for 25.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
Fabian, we're ready for our taxi.
Tow is disconnected and bypassed and has been removed. Hand signal will be on
I'll
the
get our
right.
taxi
We'll
clearance
see you
now.
next time and have a great flight.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind.
1630 ready
Carry and
for taxi.
baggage
We have
will slow
uniform.
the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember, they
KLM
might be behind you.
1630, taxi to
If
runway
you lose
04
power,
right via
lights
Victor
will
Quebec
illuminate the
Mike
aisles
Alpha.
to guide you to an exit.
It's unlikely, but if cabin
Runway
pressure
4 right.
changes,
Victor
oxygen
Quebec
masks
Mike
will
Alpha.
drop from the
KLM
panels above your seat
1630.
and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist.
The arrows, the little
As you
blue
leave the plane,
three-dimensional arrows.
inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level.
Incorporated.
A water-activated
And
light is attached to each
it's
vest.
giving us
For
taxi
children under 35
assistance
pounds,
along the
place
way.
the vest around their
And,
waist and
I
secure
am
the strap
so in
between the
support
legs.
of it.
See your safety card for
I don't
more
think it's cheap.
information. Additional life vests for
I think
in-lap
some
children
airports have
are in
something
marked
like this,
compartments
but
at
not
the
all.
front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table, footrest, and leg rest.
Contact
Be sure you fastened
ATC.
your seatbelt
Request
low and
takeoff
tight
clearance.
across your lap, carry-on items secured, and armrests are at resting position, or as otherwise indicated on the placard in front of you. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Venice is not a terribly large airport, so it's not that hard to get around, even without taxi assistance. Air Canada, who else we got here? Air Italia. Is that EasyJet? Yeah, EasyJet's here. And Air France. Yay. What's up, guys? I'm in the boss over here. Little general aviation activity there. brake tap there, not really a hard brake, but a brake tap. Alright, so we are going to switch on landing lights, cut off runway turn-off lights, engines to continuous, seatbelt sign is on, flaps are set to 5, flaps are set to 5, and anti-skid is set to RTO. Trim is set to 5.5. And Fabian, please brief our takeoff.
We'll be departing from runway 4 right. We'll be flying the Rocky 8 X-ray departure with an initial climb altitude clearance to 4,000 feet. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climb altituding to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 1735, and departure frequency will be 134.75. We are configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb altitude out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
And one last step in the process is we need to put our activate TCAS. We're on standby right now, so let's we're also. Oh, I noticed that it didn't automatically set our squawk code. Normally that is done, but it's not done. Okay, so our squawk code is 1735. There. Glad we caught that. All right, Fabian, would you please get our takeoff clearance?
Requesting takeoff clearance now, Steve.
Fabian, please get our takeoff clearance.
I'll request our takeoff clearance now.
Venice Tower, KLM 1630, holding short of runway 04 right, ready to depart.
KLM 1630, runway 04 right, winds 310 at 4, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff. KLM 1630.
lining up. N1 is Toga's hit. Front pressure on yoke.
Knots. E1, rotate.
Rotate.
Landing gear lever, up.
Gear up.
Done. Left and right wiper, park position, max 200 kts.
400.
Set. Autopilot, engage, above 1,000 feet AGL.
KLM 1630, contact departure on 134.75.
Switching to departure on 134.75, KLM 1630.
Autopilot's engaged and flaps are retracted.
Venice departure KLM 1630. Good evening, climbing through 1,000.
KLM 1630, Venice departure identified, climb via the city.
So basically, climb via the SID means we're going to put our
thank you to each of you.
altitude on flight level and let VNAV manage our climb
We are
up.
greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on.
KLM 1630, contact Milan radar on 134.53.
Contacting Milan radar on 134.53, KLM 1630.
To prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's
Milan
safe.
radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, climbing through 5,000 for flight level 140.
KLM 1630, Milan radar identified. Good evening, Venice QNH 1001.
Cabin, it'll be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products,
KLM 1630.
Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Transition 6,000, QNH is set to standard.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers,
anti-skid
as well as
is
available
off.
for purchase for the main cabin.
Landing gear is off.
A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items can be found in the menus.
Engines are set to off.
Fuel facing lights, off. Low pressure lights.
That Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases.
Left and right landing lights, off.
However, you
Set.
can use your Delta
Landing
SkyMiles
lights off.
American
Left
Express
and
card.
right runway turn off
Save
lights,
50%
off.
and earn double miles on all Delta
Set.
purchases.
Taxi light, off.
For your enjoyment, each seat is
Set.
equipped with your own personal entertainment system.
APU,
On it,
off.
you have a selection of
Checked.
complimentary as well as on-demand
Logo
TV
light,
shows,
off.
movies, and music. You will find that the screen will work
Set.
best with the lights happen. Ladies and
Wing
gentlemen,
light,
as we
off.
climb to our cruising altitude, feel free to use your own headset. I'd like to extend a special otherwise, if you do need a headset, thank you to
Set.
each of you. Let a flight attendant know.
Cabin pressure differential, cab alt within
Flights.
limits.
Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on.
KLM 1630, climb flight level 310.
In case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you all
Climb flight level 310, KLM 1630.
Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks,
Ground
as well as
services,
a selection
cabin
of our fresh
lights,
eat items and all-day
cabin lights
goodies.
set.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available,
Light
complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eat items can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 50% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, HC is equipped with your authorized entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
I have no idea where I am right now. Let's see. Oh, got two runways. No, one runway.
Heading bug, adjust track.
Big turn coming up here.
LM 1630, climb flight level 340.
Climbing flight level 340, KLM 1630.
We're 502 miles outside of Amsterdam, landing, and we're going to be going to Schiphol, Amsterdam. We're on the departure still right now, but we're going to be climbing to 340, spending some time at 340. Onto the coast, to the nice watery coast of Amsterdam. Beautiful place here. Didn't have time to enjoy it. Weather radar shows things pretty clear. Fairly clear.
Heading bug, adjust track.
You're going to get on my nerves. Okay, hold on. Got it. That is XChecklist, and I will sing its praises, but I just don't need it right now. About a 45-degree turn to the north, and we're just trucking north. A little bit of precip here. We're at 28,000 already. That's one thing I like about the 737, the Boeing 737. It climbs like a beast. It's like it gets there. Right, so let's look at our arrival. Arrival is going to be flaps full at 139 knots. ILS is at a course heading of 056. the course frequency is 110.55.
Thousand to go.
Okay. And so our VREF numbers are in there right here. Good shape. Okay. Our elevation at arrival is negative 11 feet. Negative 11 feet. Why is that important? Because we need to put it up here. So negative 11 feet, we just put 0 right here. Okay?
KLM 1630, contact Milan on 129.825.
Switching to Milan on 129.825, KLM 1630.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt lights off. You're free to move about. Once you are seated, we recommend you keep your belts fastened. Thank you.
KLM 1630, Milan, good evening. Identified.
Moving up, keep a little closer. Meanwhile, please sit back, relax, enjoy the trip with us.
Right. You can relax for a little bit here. Yeah, this is go fast. We're 450 miles outside of Amsterdam. We're currently 34,000 feet, and just on a nice little highway cruise right now.
Switching to Milan radar on 136.035, KLM 1630. Milan radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, level flight level 340.
KLM 1630, Milan radar, good evening, identified.
KLM 1630. Vienna radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, level flight level 340.
KLM 1630, Vienna radar. Maintain flight level 340.
Maintain flight level 340, KLM 1630.
KLM 1630. Contact Munich radar on 129.45.
Switching to Munich radar on 129.45. KLM 1630. Munich radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, level flight level 340. KLM 1630, Munich radar identified. Good evening.
All right, we are. My wife heard the flight attendant scooping the ice back in the back there. She thinks I'm weird. I think she's right. Okay. All right. Heck, we're all weird. Let's see here. Normally I don't have it going, but I just turned on the cockpit cam. I mean the light's kind of dim, but it'll give you'll be able to see I've got the MSD in front of me and everything, so see a little bit. We're 301 miles out, and I'm going to see if we can get our descent winds, see if it'll let us bring those down. And let's enter our QNH for arrival, which is 994. So you see here, 994. Forecast. Wrong place. Oh, my fault. Did it take? Yeah, it did. Okay, so let's do a request and see if it will bring us some winds. If not, I can manually enter them, and I will. It'll be something that's nice when it brings it down or load. Nope. Okay, that's all right. I'm bringing them up manually. It's not a big deal because if you have time to enter them, but it's you're used to getting them done for you. Still love this Boeing. A lot of things that you have to do manually, but I don't really care. Hold on, I'm having to sift through the flight plan. Yeah, goodness. Yes, there are easier ways to get your descent winds, but I like hard. Really wasn't a pain, but I got them. Okay, so for our descent winds, we want to look at, we're at 340 now, so let's look at 300. How about 250, and let's do 150.
KLM 1630, Munich radar, contact Langen radar on 123.28. Contact Langen radar.
So 300 will be 150 at 53.
KLM 1630, good evening, level flight level 340. Langen radar, KLM 1630, good evening, level flight level 340.
KLM 1630, Langen radar identified, good evening.
And 15 will be 180 at 32. Let's enter that. And we're 199 miles from top of descent. So that'll be a little while. I've already got the course heading set for arrival. Our course heading for the runway is 056, and our ILS frequency is 110.55 for arrival. We're still squawking 1735. So, and we're 269 miles from our destination. Fabian, would you brief our arrival, please?
We'll be arriving at Amsterdam Schiphol on runway 6 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the NorQ2 Alpha arrival. Transition level is 6,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 6. Weather at arrival shows winds 090 at 7 knots, few clouds at 2500 feet, scattered at 3200 feet, broken at 4800 feet, no significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 1735 and approach frequency will be 118.08. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 145 knots. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
Runway 06. Night transition, runway 06. This is us. Let's check it out. Alright, it's kind of weird. .55056. Elevation is negative 11. Can I turn this? Okay, better. Their elevation, missed approach. Okay, so we actually have simultaneous approaches on runway 09 here, 18. That's Charlie, 18 center, 18 right. Localizer was 110.55, we know that. Transition altitude was 3,000. Not much to see outside, but let's go outside anyway. I've approached in Amsterdam before, but still, it's 34,000 feet up here. It's dark, just dark. Probably start down maybe 20 or 25 miles before top of descent. Usually I like giving a little buffer. Make sure I keep my speed in check. I haven't been in this model in a little while. I've been flying a lot on the E175, and which I really like. The E175 is a model I like. A nice regional jet. I haven't flown on a Mad Dog much lately. The MD-80. I did do a A321 tallest, the Airbus A321neo. Y'all kept up with the Orlando.
KLM 1630, expect the NORQ-2 Alpha arrival. In about 20 minutes, I'll start your descent. Feel free to ask if you'd like it sooner.
Yeah, the Airbus A321neo that was approaching and landed in high winds in Orlando. They were trying to get the pilots a pass on that one, but I think the mistake was trying to approach in that kind of wind. They shouldn't have. They should have diverted. I think if you saw how much he was crabbing coming down, he just should have diverted. But there must be an immense amount of pressure to make schedules, and then I don't know about the pilot experience level on that flight in particular. Right. I'll give it a few minutes. I want to eat me some chicken real quick. down to 98 miles, 97 miles in TOD. You know, I still think the 737-800 is my favorite plane to fly in. I think you're talking about on trips. I think I really do still like it. It has a great flight. Now, I've been on a landing one time where I know our back landing gear hit at about 1,000 feet per minute. That was going into Compiagua. It was enough to shake my seat. It was the hardest landing I've ever had. But also that's an RNAV. That's an RNAV approach there at that airport too. So if they don't have ILS. We do have a more traditional approach here where we have we'll come in, transition to our downwind base leg, and then come back for final. So it's kind of more like the steps are a lot more traditional. In case anybody cares, I will walk you through the way I do my descent. Starting with, you see there are legs. So right now we're at 72 nautical miles from concerned about that considering the elevation where we're going is -11. Okay, -11 miles. So anyway, that's like -11 feet. So 2,000. We could actually start our descent now. We're at 50 nautical miles out from top of the descent, and total distance from airport of 137. So we could technically, okay, so okay, Fabian, would you go ahead and request our descent north to Alpha arrival?
Requesting our descent now, Steve.
Langenradar, KLM 1630, requesting descent on the Norku 2 Alpha arrival route.
KLM 1630, cleared Norku 2 Alpha into Schiphol. When you're ready to begin your descent, descend. Flight level 280.
Cleared Norku 2 Alpha into Schiphol. Descent flight level 280 when ready. KLM 1630.
Good afternoon, folks. From the cockpit, we're starting a slow descent at this time. We would like to ask you to return to your seats, fasten up your seatbelts for the duration of the flight. It's been a pleasure having you on board with us. Thanks for flying with Delta today. I can fly attendants. Go ahead and prepare the cabin for our arrival, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to refill them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. And kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle.
Right, we're sitting right now at a rate of about 1,000 feet per minute. Rate of about 1,000 feet per minute. Slow, steady descent. QNH from arrival is 994. So I can put that in. Looks like our speed is rather managed. We're at about 290 knots on this. We could actually help with that a little bit. Yeah. Some braking, some air braking.
KLM 1630, contact Langen radar on 129.175.
Switching to Langen radar on 129.175, KLM 1630.
Really liking managed speed right now.
Langen radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, level flight level 280.
KLM 1630, Langen radar, good evening, identified.
I'm shocked that it has not brought this to my attention. So right now our fuel level is hair-raisingly low, to the point that I think our engines can shut at any minute, literally. I think, and we'll end up gliding. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a restart with this, or let's just go for it. Let's see what happens. Divert airport. Okay. KLM 1630, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday.
KLM 1630, Mayday received. State nature of emergency and intentions.
Current fuel levels are at, we have we have 7, and we have 1,000 pounds of fuel remaining, and we are going to have to either revert or immediately land.
KLM 1630, you're squawking 7700. What is your emergency?
Fuel level is down to 1,000 pounds. We do not have enough fuel to arrive at
KLM 1630, roger, emergency acknowledged. You are cleared to land at the nearest suitable airport. 20 Airport is 7 miles northwest of your position. Advise if you wish to divert there or continue to Schiphol.
Cleared to land at nearest suitable airport. 20 Airport 7 miles northwest. Advise if diverting or continuing to Schiphol. KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, please give us vectors to the airport closest to us.
KLM 1630, descend altitude 4,000 feet, turn left heading 245 vectors for the ILS runway 06 approach, QNH 9er 4.
Descend altitude 4,000 feet, left heading 245 for the ILS runway 6 approach, QNH 994, KLM 1630.
It's been an excellent flight. I hate this. Yeah. But I did. We left a big. We did not load enough fuel, and I am going to go ahead and start AP resign, going on the presumption that we're not westbound. burning as much fuel at the moment, which helps. I mean, we're basically idle thrust as we descend, so that's helping. But we've got to get down on the ground soon. See what happens. Making a note here, we're on emergency state. We are down to 800 pounds of fuel. Probably not enough to make it to our destination. And we're
KLM 1630, contact Amsterdam radar on 127.78.
Switching to Amsterdam radar on 127.78, KLM 1630. Amsterdam radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, flight level 170 for 4000. Amsterdam radar, KLM 1630. Good evening, flight level 170 for 4000.
KLM 1630, Amsterdam radar, good evening. Identified. Descent altitude 4000. KLM 1630, descend altitude 4000 feet.
Descending to 4000, KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, contact Schiphol approach on 1.
Schiphol approach, KLM 1630. Good evening, descending flight level 160 for 4000.
KLM 1630, Schiphol approach, good evening, identified.
KLM 1630, we're diverting to the nearest airport. We have a Mayday emergency. We're down to 600 pounds of fuel. Need to land as soon as possible.
KLM 1630, descend at your discretion. Advise when ready for further instructions.
KLM 1630, ready for further instructions. Please vector us to the nearest airport.
Left heading 180, descending at our discretion. Will advise when ready for further instructions. KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, descend altitude 4,000 feet. Turn right, heading 255 vectors for the ILS runway 06 approach.
KLM 1630, we're not going to make it to Amsterdam. Please divert us to the nearest airport. Vector us. KLM 1630, can you convert us to Deventer?
KLM 1630, turn right heading 120, descend altitude 2,000 feet for Deventer.
Right heading 120, descend to altitude 2,000 feet for Deventer, KLM 1630.
What do you think? Can we make it? Here, see if we can get us there. I've got us at 2,500 feet per second right now. Trying to descend to 2,000. I'm not sure if we're KLM 1630, we need you to continue to vector us so that we can get down to the right altitude. We're currently at 8,000, trying to descend to 2,000.
KLM 1630, descend altitude 2,000 feet. Turn right heading 085 for Devonter.
Descend altitude 2,000 feet. Turn right heading 085 for Devonter. KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, turn right heading 270.
Turning right heading 270. KLM 1630.
We have 340 pounds of fuel in the left engine and 500 pounds in the right engine. We have 840 pounds of fuel. Flaps 5.
Thousand to go. $2,500.
KLM 1630, we're ready for the next vector, and get us down as soon as possible. We are at 720 pounds of fuel.
KLM 1630, maintain current heading 260 vectors for the ILS runway 06 approach.
Maintaining heading 260 for the ILS runway 6 approach. KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, you're diverting us. We're not going to Amsterdam. We're landing here in Devon. We're landing here in Devontier, KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, turn right heading 120, descend altitude 2,000 feet for Devonter.
Right heading 120, descending 2,000 feet for Devonter, KLM 1630.
KLM 1630. We need runway 08 at Devonshire now. I've changed my heading to 0360. We need to get lined up for runway 08.
KLM 1630, runway 08 at Devonshire approved. Continue heading 360 for alignment.
It's gonna be an ugly landing already, but I think we will.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be above bank angle.
KLM 1630, turn right heading 265.
1000. Right heading 265. KLM 1630.
Just so you know, this runway was not made for a 737. All right.
400. 300. 200. Approaching minimums.
Think
100.
rate. Think rate.
Minimum. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
knots.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign.
Okay.
This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate have shifted and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing.
I don't really think this
You may not use your mobile phone, travel, and other handheld electronic devices while we pack and managing your SCAT mouse account. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain
are on the ground.
We invite you to visit and you should have questions regarding ground transportation, Xplane for a flight, and managing your SCAT mouse account. For any other information, a uniform Delta agent you should have questions regarding ground transportation.
KLM 1630, say again, please.
For any other information, a uniform Delta agent
we are safe on the ground in Devonshire. We have
we'd like to thank you all for flying with us in our global partner. Enjoyed having you on board your flight. And look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Enjoyed having you on board. Thank you so much. Look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again.
KLM 1630, roger. Understand you're on the ground safely in Devon. If further assistance is needed, contact ground services.
No navigation instructions to read back. KLM 1630.
KLM 1630, stay right there. Emergency vehicles are on their way.
Definitely not an airport built for this airplane. final fuel is 100. Whoa, we had 430 pounds of fuel. 430 pounds. Well, 400. Yeah, 430 pounds of fuel. But we are safe on the ground. Okay. Well, just like don't want to go watch that, but it's got me curious how bad it was. It's oh, we're already on our AP. You know, honestly, that wasn't an awful landing, even though we did not make it. The problem, though, is my fuel levels were so low. This would not be improved. Okay. Let's go look at it. All right, here we go.
KLM 1630, turn left heading 245. KLM 1630 identified. 3 west of Tuge Airport at 1900 feet. QNH 9903.
By the way, I did land. Like my approach day right now. Not trying to start a new flight. No, I don't. Feel the passenger. great, but I'm just pleased because I had, I could not, I'm surprised the engines hadn't choked out, and while I was still in the air, that's why I've gone ahead and started heating, because I would have to heat the bases. Well, we'll see on the next flight. I'll probably have to refly this on everybody have a good night.